All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? It is right around 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm going to call it 2 p.m. Hawaii time. I'm going to call it 2 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on the East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. I am Mad Statter today, and this is Chatter with Statter. It's good to see all y'all here. Terry in Scotland came in with a rating party of 2. I've got a question for you, Terry, actually, but we're going to get into that question later. Darlene, I just saw the things you sent me, or I saw a picture of what looks like a yummy restaurant, and I didn't watch the video yet, but I got the things in the Facebook Messenger. Looks like we got Pinnell Writes Things coming in with that raid. We've got eMusic in the house, and we've got Natao. I'm going to call you Nato. How about that? First time chatter. Good to see you. Thank you so much for showing face and saying hello. Let's see here. We've got Pinnell saying hello to Ashes, Dusty, and Leo. I haven't seen Leo for a few days, but I have seen him recently, so I definitely know he's here in the house or in the neighborhood. He is looking super skinny, but that is what cats do in the summer, so I'm 100% not worried about it. His fur looks happy, his fur looks healthy, he's all good. For those who don't know who the heck, I was going to say something different, Leo is a stray cat that has adopted me. Ashens and Dusty, they belong to me. And let's see here, who else we get? Do I know Andy Bumatai? Yes, I do know Andy Bumatai, Nato. I actually, have worked with him when he came up to the Seattle area. I was the MC for his show in Seattle, and then I went down to California with him and James Monet, and I was the MC in Sacramento and in San Francisco. Beautiful, beautiful, short little tour. So you're from Kaimuki. All right, there we go. Let's see here. Do I know Photo Luke Hawaii? I do not know him personally. I've never met him in real life, but I absolutely know who he is. And in fact, actually, let me, I wanted to talk about Photo Luke today, actually. So before, let's say hello to Verity, Undefined Hunt, and let's see here, Darlene's in the house. I think Rick is probably close by. Pinnell, yes, thank you for the resub for 45 months. 54 months. Got a little dyslexia on the eyeballs there. Let's see here. Trail Dust is in the house, being newly retired, he says. I forgot what day it is. And Trail Dust, that's okay, because I don't know if you know, I took the last month off, so frankly, I'm surprised that anybody is even here or remembered to be here, because after a month off, you know, different focuses happen. But let's see here. So, Nato, to let you, and actually, I'm asking everybody, I seem to be missing Photo Luke's show. Like, what is Photo Luke's schedule? Is he going to be streaming tonight? I haven't seen Photo Luke in months online. Let me rephrase that. I know that Photo Luke is streaming, but for several months I've managed to miss all of his streams. And tonight, I hope that he will be streaming, and I will be able to catch him. So 5 p.m. today, so 8 p.m. my time. Sweet. I will be there. Pinnell confirming, yes, Photo Luke is streaming tonight. Because I think last week he didn't stream at night. Like, I think he's his schedule's been a little burp all over the place. Anyway, I've totally been missing him, and I'm glad you asked about this, Nato, because I wanted to ask all y'all today, is Photo Luke coming on later on? I want to be there when he's there. So awesome. We are all on the same page for that. Terry in Scotland, thank you so much for that 1,000 biddies. Alrighty, so Nato, Photo Luke stream 5 p.m. afternoon, morning, Friday, and Tuesday. Okay. And Crow, good to see you. If you de-pricked a cactus, would that make it a cucumber? Well, you know, Crow, it's funny you should say that, because my coworker / boss has been growing cucumbers this season, and cucumbers naturally are practically cactuses. Have you ever picked a cucumber off of the vine? Dude, they are prickly as heck. They are so prickly. They like itch my hands and you have to like rub them down to get all the prickles off. So I think cucumbers are a cactus to begin with. So yes, to answer your question, I say yes. Now I'm sure somebody with more botanicals would argue with scientificals, but I'm not that person. So I think you're onto something there. And let's see here. It looks like we got Thomas the Turtle in the house, resubscribing for 45 months. Thank you so much, Thomas. And yeah, they are prickly for sure, Crow. Alrighty, so now that we've got people here, and I've said hello to most folks that have shown face, why don't we get the party started? And then I want to talk to you about something. It's time to mind your manners. Well, Crow, have you been looking over my shoulder while I prepared for this stream? You mentioned, hey, Derby Startup, good to see you. You mentioned who needs science when you have hot dogs, a Sammy, or a taco. Well, how about this, my friend? What if you had a Spam dog? What? What? A Spam dog? No, dude, for real. They're making Spam dogs now. They're only available in certain areas, but you know where one of the areas is? 7-Eleven and ABC stores in Hawaii. Hawaii get the Spam dog, yo. Yeah, they get the Spam dog. But also, well, here, let's find, here's where we got. So, where can I buy the Spam dog? The Spam dog is currently available at restaurants, stadiums, and convenience stores, including Rutter's convenience stores in the Northeast. So I don't know nothing about no Rutter's, but if anybody knows about a Rutter's convenience store, then by all means, grab yourself a Spam dog. But it's also at CHS Field in St. Paul, Minnesota, and select ABC stores in Hawaii. I also read that they're available at 7-Eleven stores in Hawaii as well. And more vendors are expected, restaurants and vendors are expected to get the Spam dog in their rotation. So I don't know. Oh, Crow, you've actually even heard of Rudder. I've never even heard of Rutter's, but you've actually heard of it. And yes, Darlene, what? This is the first I'm hearing it. Spam dog. Yeah, it just came out this summer, and like I said, it's only in limited locations. It sounds like, from what I read, they're rolling it out first in restaurants and like stadiums and other food vendors, and it's primarily available through restaurant service food procurement, but there's a few convenience stores that are selling them. Rutter's in the Northeast, never heard of them, and then, like I said, in Hawaii, ABC stores and the 7-Eleven. And it shouldn't surprise anybody that Hawaii is getting a Spam dog before anybody else. They do eat the most Spam per capita, I believe, definitely in the United States, but I kind of think in the world. So obviously Spam is the Spam dog is going to hit in Hawaii, no problem. I don't know how I feel about a Spam dog, y'all. Spam dog, they missed the target. It should have been shaped like the Spam can, flat with rounded ends. Oh, right, but still long enough to fit in the hot dog. Well, let's see here. Hold on. Let's take a look. See one more time as soon as I find it. I've got so many. There we go. Oh, no, wrong one. There we go. Oh, yeah, no, that's definitely regular hot dog looking. It looks like it's even got like a fake skin on it. You know, the way a hot dog, has its sort of lack of, not a skin. Well, I mean, some hot dogs have like major skin, but even with the fake casing. Anyway, I definitely want to try one, but honestly, I really don't know how I'm going to feel about it, right? I mean, you're supposed to, it's just and here's, what is the Spam dog? It's a reimagination of the classic hot dog featuring the signature Spam brand flavor. So apparently it is just the Spam classic, which is good, of all the flavors. Because I'll tell you what, dudes, I've tried the Korean barbecue flavored Spam, And I love Korean barbecue. I thought that the flavor would work with the Spam. Dude, I couldn't. Nope, I had to throw the can away after a couple slices. I tried it a couple different ways. I tried it fried. I tried it mixed in with stuff. It was so gross. It was so gross. It was so gross. It was so gross. I don't do any Spam flavors. I just do the classic or the 25% less salt. But apparently the Spam dog is best prepared hot and crispy from the grill or the roller. So yeah, no boiling the Spam dog the way you might with a hot dog. And that makes sense. And let's see here. What toppings do you do it? Well, any of them, like mustard, ketchup, relish, or more out of the box pairings like kimchi and pineapple jalapeno salsa. Or you could try what we put on hot dogs here in Seattle, which is grilled onions and cream cheese. By the way, I know it sounds insane, okay? I know it sounds insane. But grilled onions and cream cheese on a hot dog, probably a Spam dog too. Flying, forkin', flippin', flurpin', delicious, y'all. Delicious. And so I strongly recommend you give it a whirl. Plastic dog casing, is that macro plastic? I have no idea what they'd use to make the little casings, but there's clearly some sort of, like, it looks like it's got, it doesn't look like it's just here, let me, where did it go? It looks like it's got, like, if you look at the end, it looks like it's got that little fake sausage squeeze casing look to it with the wrinkles. I like Spam, Darlene says. I wonder if it's the same. Yeah, it says that it's supposed to be just like the Spam, but I feel like it would just be, I feel like there would be like a mental hurdle for me to, because I'm expecting the hot dog flavor. I don't know. I'm very curious what my brain would do with a Spam dog. Crow, do I like Vienna sausage? Also, Spam in its entirety with any flavor is good. Well, with any flavor is good, but flavored Spam to me is not good. Like the bacon flavored, the turkey kind, the whatever. I don't like those kind. But Crow, do I like Vienna sausage? Oh, honey bunches. I actually had a stream where I tried the Vienna sausages, both the blue can from the mainland, continental United States, and the yellow can from Hawaii to taste test to make sure they tasted different, like everybody says. They totally do taste different, even though the manufacturer says they're not supposed to taste different. They do taste different. And do I like them? No, not really. No, not really at all. And exactly, Rick, you bring up a good point. I don't hurdle, but that's why they should have shaped it different. You're totally right. I actually do agree with you. And let's see here. Darlene is saying, yeah, sometimes the flavor they add don't do nothing for the original. Exactly. So it makes me wonder how the Spam dog is. Exactly. Now we got to ask someone we know to be our food taster critic. Maybe Photo Luke or Harry Miriam can ask on Luke's stream. Oh yeah, totally, dude. Photo Luke would be the perfect person because he already eats on stream anyway. And he's in Hawaii. At least that's what he tells us, right? So yeah, I think Photo Luke would be great. I'll ask him if I finally make his stream, I will totally ask him. And yes, Thomas the Turtle, we need to get Keola and his sister to taste test the Spam dog. We do, for so many reasons. The biggest reason of all is I want to see what they look like now that they're kind of all grown up. I mean, how old do you think Keola is now? He's probably close to 18. I don't like to do that math. No, wait. He was what, 11 or 12? Yeah, I mean, he's like 16 or 17 now, dude. I want to see what he looks like as a grown-up. And his sister was a couple years older than him, so she's definitely over 18 now. I'll bet you, I mean, I would love to see that. For those of you who don't necessarily know who Keola and his sister are, honestly, I wish I could remember Keola's sister's name, but they were people who used to watch Daily Pigeon with Andy Bumatai back during the COVID era, where most of us actually have sort of hooked up. Most of us met through Andy Bumatai and the Daily Pigeon during the COVID era. And Keola, we didn't realize he was just like a 10-year-old watching the show. And he pops up one day and he's talking about losing a tooth. And Andy's like, oh, what kind of fight did you get in? And he's like, Uncle, I'm just like 10. It was so funny. So we got to watch this young buck grow up over the years. And we haven't seen him for a little while. And those of us who remembered him when he was little would love to see him now that he's older. And let's see here. Okay, Crow, looking up something that I'm so glad, yet not glad you looked up. I looked it up, says Crow. Apparently natural sausage hot dog casings are totally edible, made from cleaned intestines. Yes, that is totally true. However, the prosthetic casings are made from plastics, collagen, or cellulose. And those aren't edible. No, I think the ones that are made from collagen and cellulose probably are, but plastics, that's confusing. Because here's the deal, Crow, like the natural hot dogs, you know, the ones with the real intestines, when you bite into them, there's a snap. You kind of crackle through the real intestine casing. But like, you know, cheap old like Oscar Mayer hot dogs, they don't have the natural casing, you know, and so there's still something that keeps there's something, right? Isn't there? Or is it just shaped and cooled? All I know is the Spam dog looks like it's sort of like a Oscar Mayer hot dog kind. You know, maybe it is just shaped and cooled into that way. Anyway, yeah, and then Darlene's like, gross, Crow, I usually remove the casing if I can. And exactly, Verity coming in with, we were all part of the Hamajang gang back in the day when Andy Bumatai did his Daily Pigeon Live. He has been showing some of his reruns of his old Daily Pigeon Lives, but I have to say, I really do miss his live streams, and it would be nice, hint, hint, if someone's watching right now, if he could occasionally pop online so we could all join and chitter chatter. And cellulose is often used for fiber in food. Exactly. Exactly. Let's see here. So, since we're talking about food and we're talking about Spam, I saw this online, and I actually don't think it's a bad idea. In fact, I think it's a good idea because sometimes there's too much rice in musubi, and you need a little something or something to make it go through. But here's what I'm talking about, you guys. This is a new trend in Hawaii, apparently, and they're eating musubi in a different way. So, and apparently everybody is just like, oh, gross, and then they try it and they're like, oh, dang, oh no. So here we go.
If you're in Hawaii, you know already what it is. One spam musubi, you gotta add mayo, bro. Change the game.
Heard from my brother that mayonnaise and musubi go together. Sample. If it's good, everybody gotta try this. If not, they're lying. Solid 8 out of 10.
Not even that good for real.
Hey, let him try.
You cannot eat the same side.
Life changing.
Holy sh**.
Here, hold on from the bottom. Please don't touch my musubi, bro.
Bro, with the mayo, solid 8.
You mess with it?
No, not really.
Bro, sample.
You didn't even try him yet.
That's a 9, bro.
1 out of 10. Bro, mayonnaise. That was nasty as
11 out of 10.
Who's the rest?
10 out of 10.
No way, bro. For real.
If you're in Hawaii, you know already what it is. One spam musubi, you gotta add mayo, bro. Change the game.
Heard from my brother that mayonnaise and musubi go together. Sample. If it's good, everybody gotta try this. If not,
I hate it when I forget that I have it on loop and it starts playing again. Oops. So, have you guys tried musubi with mayo? Any of you guys, have you tried it yet? And it doesn't surprise me because if you've ever seen a recipe for a sushi bake where you get the rice and then it's usually tuna fish, canned tuna, mixed with sriracha mayo, and like the furikake, the sprinkle stuff, and then you eat them up with the little pieces of the nori. Anyway, my point is spam bakes are very mayo centric, and so I'm not surprised they're doing this. And like I was saying, sometimes when the rice is super thick, to me, it needs more moisture, which is why I kind of like when I make my musubis, if I make them with thick rice, I try to put extra sauce so the rice doesn't really dry out, But if the rice gets kind of dry like that, I think the mayo would be good. And I don't know, I'm kind of, I've got the ingredients. I could totally give it a whirl. I think I might try it sometime soon. And Rick, we only have avocado mayo over in this house. I wonder if it would make a difference. Well, as long as it's Hellman's, I think we're good. And I don't mean Hellman's, I mean Best Foods. It's Best Foods over, I don't know what it is in your side. I think it's Hellman's over here at. But as long as it's Best Foods, I think you're good to go, right? And Picola Tea in the house. Don't think I'll find any spam musubi here in Barcelona. Very tired after long flights and layovers, just staying to hotel and going zzz. All right, Picola Tea, good to see you. Glad you're checking in. I thought you were on your way to Rome, so if I had asked the question, where in the world is Picola Tea today, I would have said Rome, but apparently we would have been wrong, and it's Barcelona. All right, so there we go. So let's see here. Let's see what else we got to talk about. I remember what we have to talk about today. Let's see here. Oh, good. See Honda's in the house. Good. Good to see you, see Honda. All right. So you flew through Rome for the 8-hour layover. Oh, so you were in Rome, but now you're in Barcelona. Gotcha. I hope, isn't it Barcelona? I think, is that the one that's got the weird, isn't it? I want to say the architect is Gaudi, but it's the buildings that are all curvy and circular and no real angles, but just all cool looking. Are those in Barcelona? Because I want to go to that place. And if you are in that place and you do see what I'm talking about, which I realize if you don't know what I'm talking about, I absolutely don't blame you, because what I just described is kind of useless. But if you do see those buildings, I'd be super stoked if you could take pictures of them. And yes, it's Gaudi Villa, where they pronounce the S like the th. Oh, okay. And so it's Sagrada Familia. I know, right? But okay, good. Picola Tea, you did know what I'm talking about. And where they pronounce S like th. Oh, is that why Barcelona? Is that why people always sound like they're mispronouncing Barcelona? Because they're supposed to say it like that? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Anyway, I'm glad. Right, like Barcelona. No, I've totally noticed that that's what I hear. And I've always wondered, why are they lisping Barcelona? But okay, now I'll be all knowledgeable and cosmopolitan and stuff. It's Barcelona. That does not feel right. And Thomas the Turtle, I'd put soy glaze on one spam mousse. Well, you said music, but I'll bet you meant musubi. AutoCarrot decided you actually wanted music, but AutoCarrot is not always correct. Yeah, I like to put, I have a sauce that I make. It's 1 part soy sauce, 1 part sugar, 1 part beer, and 1 part ketchup with a whole bunch of garlic, ginger, and black pepper. And that's the sauce that I put on my musubis. And I usually put a little bit of vinegar in the rice because the sauce is kind of sweet. And so the vinegared rice kind of gives it a little bit of a boop-a-doop. And at Pecola Tea, you have a Gaudi architecture tour on Saturday. Okay, pardon me while I'm all, but yay. You take good pictures. You take good pictures. Hint, hint, hint. I'd be super stoked to see some pictures. Hey, Mama Sean, good to see you. Good to see you. All right, so, you guys, if you were here last stream on Sunday, we talked a little bit about Buc-ee's and how Buc-ee's likes to or is suing Mickey's Mart in Ohio over the likeness and similarities of their logos. One is a moose, that would be Mickey, and one is a beaver, that would be Buc-ee. We decided they were really not that close, and Buc-ee's was kind of silly for making this lawsuit, but maybe they had some reasons. They might have. However, Buc-ee's is lawsuit crazy, as it turns out. And as it turns out, this is going to maybe be a problem because one legal expert, while I was coming up with all sorts of reasons why they might have had good reasons to be trademark suing and protecting their trademark, one legal expert pointed out that actually that's not always the best strategy, because if you end up, well, here, John Oliver explains it best. So why don't we listen to what John Oliver has to say about Buc-ee's and just exactly what's happening with Buc-ee's this week.
Buc-ee's loves to sue other companies, particularly those with animal mascots. They've filed over a dozen lawsuits over the years and threatened a bunch more. And incredibly, to date, Buc-ee's has won nearly all of the cases that it's brought, usually because other companies opt to settle and redesign their logos or just fold completely. And that is probably because most just don't have the resources to fight a company this big. But Buc-ee's should be careful here, because as one legal expert has said, the more you do this, the more you might run into somebody who has the means or the will to fight with you about it. And that is where we come in, because it turns out we very much have the will to get into a fight with Buc-ee's. We also happen to already have a rodent mascot on hand, one Mr. Nutterbutter, who's helpfully no stranger to frivolous lawsuits. I'm so happy to announce that you can now buy this image on a variety of products, from tumblers, to hats, to shirts, to onesies, to mugs, to pyjamas, to umbrellas, to stickers, to socks, to, of course, underwear. You can buy any or all of these items for a limited time at buck-off.com, with all profits going to hunger-free America. So, if any prominent gas station chain out there has an issue with our new logo and products and wants to get lawyers involved, then you know what? Bring it the fuck on. Although, remember, in doing so, you'd be directly taking food out of hungry people's mouths. And it's also worth knowing that Mr. Nutterbutter currently has a perfect record in court, and the last guy who sued us over him is technically dead now. That is not a threat. That's not a threat. It's just an objective fact. So at this point, Buc-ee's, I guess the beaver nugget is in your court. The next move is yours. And I'm anxious to see what it's going to be. And you know who else is looking forward to finding out? This guy! He's here! He's back! Hey, buddy! Hey! Buc-ee's loves to sue other companies, particularly those with animal mascots. They've filed over a dozen lawsuits over the years.
So, they're waiting to be sued by Buc-ee's. And if Buc-ee's doesn't, I don't know, dude. If Buc-ee's doesn't sue them over it, it really would make no sense, because that logo is very specifically intended to look exactly like the Buc-ee's logo. And so if you go to the buckoff.com website, it looks like this. I mean, that is the Buc-ee's color scheme and font. It is very much there. I could definitely see that, like, we saw the moose logo and that just didn't even look like this. I could see the argument over, like, oh yeah, that kind of looks like Buc-ee's. Now, here's the deal, y'all. Buc-ee's is still suing people, and shortly after John Oliver made that video, they decided to file another lawsuit, not against John Oliver, but against another mini mart in, I believe it was Ohio, Beaver Creek, Ohio. If it's not Ohio, it's some other upper Midwestern state, Beaver Creek for sure. And they're saying that, let's see here, let's find it. Yeah, they're saying that Beaver Mart, that's what it's called, Beaver Mart, because they're in Beaverville or Beaver Creek. No, they're in the mart. There's only one of them, is in Beaver Creek. The mart is called Beaver Mart. And unlike Buc-ee's, they don't even have gas pumps. But this is what Beaver Mart's logo looks like. So clearly, people are going to get confused with that logo because they're obviously the same store. Anybody who went to Ohio would be so stoked because it's obvious that there's a Buc-ee's now in Ohio. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think so. So once again, they are suing. Once again, they are suing, and this is the logo that they're suing over, because you know, only one company in the world is allowed to have red letters with an animal, apparently. Yeah. And basically though, as John Oliver's rant did explain, a lot of the companies that Buc-ee's is suing, they're small mom and pop companies. Now, the Mickey's Mart happened to be a company that had multiple locations and are a little bit of a bigger, but this Beaver Mart, there's only one of them, and it's a family-owned and operated business. They absolutely do not have the money to fight against the Buc-ee's lawsuit. Other companies, a few years ago, there was a small chain of gas stations called Chicks, and it happened to have two baby chickens as the logo. Buc-ee's ended up suing them, and they ended up going out of business because of the lawsuit. They didn't win it, they didn't lose it, but they lost their business because of it, because of all the money that they had to put in to fighting the lawsuit. So, while I have absolutely no problem with defending a trademark when you need to, for instance, the Buc Off, that's actually a legitimate and obviously intentional trademark violation. But you know, I mean, if it's just a little mom and pop business, why? What? And like the people who own the Beaver Mart say, we don't even have gas pumps. And Buc-ee's is known for their, I mean, there's just, Buc-ee's is known for their miles upon miles of, you know, hundreds of gas pumps. They don't even have one. So it's clear there's just no comparison. Not to mention, as Darlene says, but come on, no comparison. They don't get to own the whole beaver animal. And that is exactly what, you know, the Beaver Mart was, the entire beaver. It just makes no sense. Now, yeah, exactly, C. Honda. Copyright the entire beaver? I don't think they're allowed to. I mean, they have their logos. They don't have a whole, you know, theirs all about the face. Their logo is all about the face, not the entirety. And it is insane, Pinnell. Now, don't get me wrong. Once again, if I ever cross paths with the Buc-ee's, I absolutely will go shopping there. I will buy too many beaver nuggets. I will go bankrupt buying their flippin' flirpin' beef jerky. It's really good. And you better believe I will try out their bathrooms, because their bathrooms are supposed to be the cleanest. And there you have it. So I will. However, I just found this out today, and I don't know how I feel about it. How many of you like Coca-Cola more than Pepsi? How many of you like Pepsi more than Coca-Cola? I'm just going to take a quick poll here. And this does have to do with what I'm talking about. If you want to participate and go on record, could you type in Pepsi or Coke, either or? Or if you're either or, you could just say both. But if you have a preference, and a lot of people do, I'm just curious what your all's preferences is. And I suppose if you don't want to share that top secret information, that's fine. That's fine. So C Honda is all about Coca-Cola. And so I'm just gonna sit here and wait a little while. I'm gonna need at least one more vote, y'all. Gotta have one more vote. And Mama Sean, we have a new Buc-ee's west of us, and we're going to check them out on Saturday. Awesome, cool. Well, Mama Sean, let me just tell you right now, if you are a Pepsi person, or if you like Mountain Dew, or if you like any Pepsi product, they don't sell them at Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's has a Coca-Cola exclusive contract. There is no Pepsi products at all. In all of Buc-ee's, they have thousands of square feet of retail space. And in all of that thousands of square feet of retail space, there's not a Pepsi product to be found. They have an exclusive contract with Coca-Cola. I was stunned to hear that. Hey, Pussycat, good to see you. Why don't you buck off too? And by the way, I don't know if you were here earlier. I saw Leo a few days ago. He's all looking lean and mean. So he's still here, but he also is very polite. He was sat there waiting for his turn to eat at the wet food, so he's still as polite as ever. And yeah, Darlene Pinnell, I'm right there with you. I don't normally drink those sodas, but I do know that the last time I did my own little Pepsi challenge, you know, I had a can of Coke, I had a can of Pepsi, I poured them in identical glasses and then put them on what are they called? A Lazy Susan, and I closed my eyes while the Lazy Susan spun. It turns out I like Pepsi better than Coke, which really surprised me because I thought I liked Coke better than Pepsi. The reality is I prefer Dr. Pepper over anything, even though I don't drink soda anymore. And I like Canada Dry, says Pinnell, and A&W root beer. I am not a fan of any root beer, but Canada Dry, honestly, y'all, if I'm going to make an exception for any soda, and it's like, yes, I'm going to drink a soda, it's going to be Canada Dry ginger ale. I love Canada Dry ginger ale. And in fact, I like Diet Canada Dry ginger ale. I don't normally like any diet sodas. Diet sodas are kind of gross and icky. But Diet ginger ale, Canada Dry, not Schweppes, Canada Dry, delicious. And let's see here, Mama Sean, you drink seltzer water, so no worries for me. And Dr. Steve likes his Dr. Pepper. There you go. Yeah, I'm a LaCroix. You know, I don't know. Is it seltzer? Is it I guess it says it's sparkling water. Yeah, I'm a unsweetened LaCroix girl these days. But back in my day, I was a pepper. Looks like Rick was a pepper. Looks like Steve is a pepper. Wouldn't y'all like to be a pepper too? And let's see here. Rick says, I'd take Coke with rum because Pepsi don't cut it. All right, so Rick, you'll be able to get your Coke at a cola at Buc-ee's. But yeah, the Pepsi, Pussycat, you're happy. Pepsi is not at Buc-ee's. But yeah, Thomas the Turtle, I think it was Thomas the Turtle. Yeah, Thomas the Turtle. Seriously, I do prefer the Pepsi as well, just like you. So Thomas and I will be unsatisfied. And anybody who drinks Mountain Dew, which I didn't know was a Pepsi product, but anybody who drinks Mountain Dew will be dissatisfied. But frankly, anybody who drinks Mountain Dew needs to get their taste buds checked. Because to me, Mountain Dew always tastes warm, even when it's cold. And exactly, Pepsi, no Coke. No, it's Coke, no Pepsi at Buc-ee's, but I know what you're referencing. And see, Hondo, you're right. Diet Dr. Pepper isn't that bad either. But the diet ginger ale to me is almost indistinguishable from the regular, between the regular and the diet. And Mama Sean, exactly, the diet soda. Okay, so Mama Sean, apparently there's no evidence that diet sugars are bad for your heart. But I totally agree with you. I don't think that the fake sugars are. I avoid fake sugars more than I avoid real sugars, and I avoid real sugars, but I avoid the fake sugars even more. So I'm totally in agreement with you, but apparently doctors say there's been no proof. I don't agree with the doctors sometimes, though. All right, so it is 1 minute past Lono listening break. So I am going to, let's see, what am I going to play? Oh yeah. First off, Thomas the Turtle. RC Cola is awesome, y'all. I love RC Cola. But it's time for our Lono listening break, and I think we've got a choice here. Well, you know what? Even though you have the headphones on, you totally lost track of what is going on here. That's exactly perfect. That is how the show should be, because things scatter. But why don't we watch this latest? Well, no, let's listen to this Lono listening break. But I have a second one too. So let's listen to this one first.
All right, Moe boy, Molokai. Got some land over here, got some land over there. I'm my father's great-grandfather's only living heir. When those lawyers find me, things are gonna change. I'll be sitting up there with the governor herself, sipping on champagne. Cause I'm Moe boy, Molokai. If I wasn't so Moe, you could look me in the eye. Go and check your genealogy, 'cause that's what you gotta do. You could be here sitting next to me. You could be Moe boy, that's right, I'm Moe boy, Molokai. If I wasn't so Moe, you could look me in the eye. Go and check your genealogy, 'cause that's what you gotta do. You could be here sitting next to me. You could be Moe too, that's right. You could be Moe. Boy.
Alrighty, now there is a reason why I chose that song. That song was written about this crazy guy on Molokai who claims that he is of royalty. Moe boy, that's what that means, of royalty. And that's what they're talking about, like, you know, you can't look him in the eye, because if the royals back in the day, there was a kapu, you can't look him in the eye. So, but, you know, and he's crazy meth head man who insists that he's kept track of his genealogy, and one day he'll be with the governor and they'll recognize that he's royalty, and he's just, crazy talk guy who thinks that he should be in charge of things on Molokai. Okay, so have you heard what happened on Maui? Because it reminded me of that song a whole lot. Do you know what I'm talking about? What happened on Maui? Yeah, do you know what happened on Maui? Here, let's watch.
I told him if he wants to go to the hospital, come here! Fuck you!
Hey. Not my girl.
Fuck you!
Not my girl, bro.
You're not talking about my girls, right? I don't care. Don't do that, dude. Don't do that.
What are you gonna do?
Go ahead, just go. Just
What
go.
are you gonna do?
Don, go ahead.
Come on, bitch! Come on!
Oh, shit!
Chair thrower!
Myself, bro!
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Yeah. What you fucking about, Holly boy? Yeah? Try to stay right here.
You're going to jail.
Let's kick this week off the right way. Democratic candidate Kirill Basin just got knocked the F out. Look here.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? That guy's running for office. That guy is a Democratic candidate for Maui for some congressional office. I'm not sure if it's state level or if it's federal level. I think it's federal level. I think he's going against Tokuda. He's a Democratic candidate. He's a candidate for office. But check this out, you guys. So, I just can't. Okay, so that is just a little bit. Too much. Well, let's see here. So, yeah, and the Coca-Cola does actually help settle the stomach, so it does make sense that Pussycat would do that. So that's a little brouhaha that happened on the beach this weekend in Maui. Here is more about that story.
We start tonight with new information on a Hawaii congressional candidate who remains in a Maui jail after a violent dispute caught on camera.
A bystander who knocked him out is speaking publicly for the first time as the candidate's lawyers are defending him in court.
Only Hawaii News Now was in a Wailuku courtroom when 40-year-old Kirill Basin, a Democratic candidate for Hawaii's 2nd Congressional District, made a court appearance wearing handcuffs.
These are just allegations. My client has a presumption of innocence.
He's charged with 2 counts of first-degree terroristic threatening. The judge kept Basin's bail at $1 million, even though his attorney called the amount outrageous. Saturday's altercation in South Kihei was caught on video, where Basin swung a beach chair and a bystander knocked him out.
I told him if he wants to go to the hospital, come here!
H&N obtained unedited video and spoke exclusively with Kama, the man Maui police named as the bystander.
Maybe I should intervene. And then as I got closer and closer, he was just getting more irate and violent and then saying stuff like, you know, I'm going to hurt you or I can end you or you like scrap and, you know, to the antes.
Maui police say the altercation started when a 61-year-old man asked Basin to turn down his music. Basin allegedly implied he had a firearm and would shoot the victim's wife.
But I heard the reaction. He's got a gun. I'm like, brother, pump your brakes and go sit down and leave him alone. And right at that point, he got within 2 inches of my face and he stood there and he goes, bruh, you like go, put his hands on me. And as soon as he tried to shove me, I hit him with a left and a right. And that's when he stumbled and fell over the chairs.
Chair thrower!
Wake up. Yeah. What you about, Holly boy? Yeah? Try to stay right here.
Kama says when Basin swung a beach chair, he used his mixed martial arts training to knock him out.
Just block it and go for the KO. Yeah, just protect myself, which is why I had my hand up and then I adjusted to block the chair.
When you read the court documents, you read the news stories, you see that people are genuinely afraid of Kirill Basin. Were you afraid of Kirill Basin?
No, I didn't even know who the guy was.
Police say Basin allegedly pulled out a knife and threatened multiple people before tossing it into the ocean. Kama says it was a 5-inch switchblade, which he found and turned over to officers.
He ended up pulling the knife out on me after the altercation, and that was obviously a game changer when I knew he was off.
The court is recommending Basin undergo a mental health exam, and his attorneys are disputing the allegations.
There is no evidence in any of these videos, which have been circulated tremendously, that he ever had a knife in his possession, that he ever had a firearm in his possession.
But Kama says he intervened because someone could have gotten hurt.
Do what's right because that's what we should do, you know, and that's my whole motto in life.
Just in case.
We start.
Okay, so first off, Rick, I can't believe a scrawny ass little guy like him had the cojones to say up to that one big guy. I mean, like, he's so local, he got one name, Kama, right? You know, and what, you want scrap? Like, are you kidding me? Pussycat, the little one went to jail. The one that got knocked out was the one that went to jail. And here's the exactly, Verity, block him with the left and poke him with the right. You got it right there. But here's the deal. Did you notice that the newscaster was asking the guy, well, you know, so many people are afraid of him. Were you afraid of him? And he was like, no, I didn't even know who he is. Why did she say so many people were afraid of him? What do you mean? Because 2 months ago, he got arrested again. Here's that story. This is from 2 months ago. 2 months ago. No, Kama did not go to jail. The guy who knocked the guy out did not go to jail. He's in no trouble at all. As well, he shouldn't be. And we'll talk about that in a second. But the guy who got knocked out, yeah, he's in jail. And right now he's facing 3 counts. 3 counts of terroristic threatening. Two of the terroristic threatening charges he caught this weekend with those videos. But he already had one on his record from 2 months ago. 2 months ago. Check this out.
Let's talk. A Maui congressional candidate faces a felony charge after police say he entered a county building while armed and confronted employees. Investigators say 40-year-old Kirill Basin allegedly brandished a firearm during a verbal altercation at a county facility in Wailuku Friday morning, triggering a police response and partial lockdown. Officers later located Basin in Kihei and arrested him without incident. Police say the incident came just days after another confrontation involving Basin at a South Maui town hall meeting. He has since been charged with first-degree terroristic threatening and posting $250,000 bail. Let's talk. A Maui congressional candidate.
That stupid looping. I need to always remember to cut that off. Yeah, Kama was the hero on that beach. The other guy was the zero. Exactly. Because the thing is which one went to jail? The hey, no comment. Good to see you. Yeah, the scrawny little guy with the tattoo on his chest and the candidate for Democratic whatever. A white guy who's not from Hawaii acting exactly like what Haole boys act like and when they shouldn't be. And just mind your manners, Haole boy. I love that Kama woke him up to remind him of the lesson that he needed to learn. It was, to me, that was just the chef's kiss cherry on top. But basically though, in summary, 2 months ago he brandished a firearm in a government building, causing the government building to go on lockdown. 1 terroristic threatening charge. And then boop-a-doo, just this last weekend, he got 2 more terroristic threatening charges. Now, unlike the name implies, the law in Hawaii for terroristic threatening isn't really about what we typically think of as terrorism, i.e. politically motivated. I'm doing this act in order to further my politics, which is oftentimes what, like, on worldwide legally, terrorism has got a definition of that. Terroristic threatening in Hawaii, what they mean by that is you said some things or you're doing some things that are striking, that is creating terror in the public and the people around you. It has nothing to do with politics. So even though it sounds like it sounds like it's sort of a politically motivated, like that's actually not. I looked it up because I was like, terroristic threatening, that seems a little excessive. That doesn't strike me as terrorism. But the law is the law is the Hawaiian law. That's not what terroristic threatening is about. And so No Comment is telling us that the primary is on 8/8. So dude will probably still be in jail when he's up on the ballot. And I'm curious how many people are going to end up voting for him. I mean, I truly don't think he's going to get a lot of votes. But yeah, he I mean his political slogan is fight aloha. So I don't really. Anyway, this guy has an issue, 3 to 4 other incidents. Exactly. He really does strike me as someone who is mentally unstable. I really do think he does need a mental evaluation. I do think that he's mentally competent enough to stand trial. But I also think he absolutely is a couple screws loose and would benefit from some kind of diagnosis and probably some medication. And No Comment, you do bring up a good point. Anyone going into politics needs a psychiatric evaluation. You bring up a good point, but I think if you've seen the videos, this guy really needs a psychiatric evaluation. Exactly. If nothing else, anger management for sure. And Pussycat, his opponent should use the fight video as an example. I don't think that the opponent needs to touch it with a 10-foot pole. That video has gone around, especially the Hawaiian viral atmosphere. Like, people have seen that video. All of the news stations have covered it. In fact, I have another news. If you want to watch a different news channel, their take on it, I actually have it uploaded. And yeah, terrifying threatening. Exactly, Pinnell. That's what that law or that terroristic threatening means. And it is terrifying because if you're within arm's reach of a guy who says he has a knife or a gun, you become kind of terrified. And as I typed in the comments, like, in at least the state of Washington, 4-inch blade, I think 3 or 4-inch blade is the limit you're allowed to have on your person. Because anything longer can, like, penetrate the cavity, your body cavity enough to, pierce your heart or your lungs. And smaller blades, not so much. A 5-inch blade in Washington, I can tell you this right now, is absolutely not legal to have on your person. I mean, if you're out in the middle of the woods camping and anything, that's another story. But just on the beach like that, that is not a legal knife to have on your person. I can only assume in Hawaii it's probably the same. I don't really know. My point, though, is 5 inches is not a tiny blade at all. And No Comment, I'm voting for comma. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. In fact, actually, it would be kind of funny if a bunch of stickers were made up and if that, like, Carroll Basin guy had any signs up, like, defiling his signs with vote for comma instead or whatever would be a good one. Because, yeah, he was definitely a special one. And let's see here, who was it that said somebody should and they say politicians never do nothing. Yeah, exactly. Was it, let's see here, was it somebody said something that I wanted? Pussycat, his opponent should use the fight video as an example. Well, first off, let's just talk about the opponent, comma. On what planet do you threaten a guy that looks like that? Unless you're some, 6'7", 350 pound Samoan who already is, I mean, he's a mixed martial artist. And if there's anybody on the planet that looks like someone who might be a mixed martial artist, it was that guy. Like, why on earth would you even want to puff chest at him, dude? What were you? What are you thinking, man? Honestly, that alone shows me like, oh, you are patently crazy, dude. I mean, first off, you're wearing your underwear on the beach, but regardless of wearing your underwear on the beach, crazy man, you puffed chest at a man that not only looks like a mixed martial artist, but actually is a mixed martial artist. Exactly, Darlene. Does he have a flippin' flirpin' death wish? I mean, my God, that guy was huge. I also found it somewhat hysterical that dude who threw down with him had very pale eyes, and so he's clearly part Howley himself. I mean, local Howley, but clearly part Howley himself. And so for him just be like a Howley boy beating down another Howley boy, telling that Howley boy to watch his mouth, that was funny. I really enjoyed that. But it is important to remember that even though, like, first off, Tiny Dude did put hands on Big Dude first. That is true. So Big Dude had every right to do what Big Dude did. But I do believe that even if he hadn't put his hands on Big Dude first, the act of him about to throw that chair, legally speaking, I don't think would have been in any problem or in any trouble for defending himself and defending others. I was watching, and I really don't want to talk about this a lot, but what happened earlier in Idaho this week, there was a mass shooting, and 2 other people got involved with the shooting, a civilian and an off-duty police officer, and basically nullified the situation. Both of those people had broken no law to fire upon that other person. In Idaho and in many other states, your right to self-defense and defending others does allow you, in Idaho, lethal force. Obviously, this guy wasn't using lethal force, but basically, with the threat that candidate, that little guy, had posed to all of those people, that bigger guy, especially once the chair went, he had, I believe, I don't know Hawaii's laws, but my best guess is he had every legal right to do what he did to that little man, even though technically you're not supposed to be fighting random folk on the beach, but sometimes you just got to. And I do believe that he is absolutely facing no legal charges. And, whoa, yeah. Hold on. Okay, so, and Puzzy, no, Kama is not running against him. Kama is not running against the guy. I was just saying it would be funny if the stickers, like, vote for Kama instead because Kama beat his, anyway. But Mama Sean, a guy was standing in front of our son using the, and going on about a little kid. First off, I mean, there's so many reasons not to use the N-word, but in reference to a little kid, that is just even more disgusting. And your son started, not sure where you're from, but around here we don't talk that way. That's good that your son stood up and said something, because some people, and nice, okay, the guy turned around and looked at our son's chest and decided to get out of line and leave. I love that. That is, I love that. And no comment, by the way, very astute of you. What I said earlier about things and stuff and what you can and can't do to keep people minding their manners, not legal advice at all. Not legal advice. If I had a producer, I would tell them, flash on the screen, not legal advice. Yeah, I'm just saying what I heard about different and assorted gun laws and how you're allowed to, like, shoot people. I just sort of assumed it could also go with punchy fisties. But once again, assumed, not legal advice. Not legal advice. But for real, dude, honestly though, Mama Sean, I'm really glad that your son said that, because people are really, they're getting a little too comfortable with that word these days. People really are getting very comfortable with that word these days. And I think a lot of white people think that they have a pass in front of other white people. And I think that some white people, and I don't mean to bring race into it, but seriously, in this particular case, this is a racial thing. And I think that some people maybe are afraid to, even if they hear the word and it makes them not comfortable, they're too afraid to say something about it, which then furthers the comfort that some people have with using that language. So I am very glad that your chest-bearing 6'4" son was able to make someone uncomfortable with their language, just like that person probably made other people uncomfortable with his language. So, you know, turnabout. It's fair play. And let's see here. Shock in the house. Session done. Now you got to compile and tune list and send out the scan of some sheet music to the group. Oh yeah, so you're all done. Except for you're totally not. All right, so let's see here. What else do we have to talk about? Yeah, exactly. Not that word, not never. Precisely. Other people, of the race upon which that word is referring to, they can make their choices about how and if they use that word. But my lily white ass won't ever be saying it, and I don't want to hear it around me either. And yes, I know, I just swore. I just said an A word. I'm so sorry. Yeah. I try not to. And let's see here. The sheet music is the Hungry Rock. I've never heard of that song. I don't know what that song is, but all I can think of is that is it a song about rock? Because I feel like The Rock must always be hungry because he's just huge and he only eats like chicken and rice, and I can only assume that like after a while you're just constantly hungry. Irish, what do you want? Tune, not song. Oh, it's not. Wait, what? It's a tune, not a song? Okay. What's the difference between a tune and a song? Oh, no singing. Oh, okay. Okay. So that's the difference, y'all. Learned something new for me. A tune has no singing, a song has singing. Okay, there you go. And Mama Sean, I worked in social work for close to 30 years as an advocate. We know how to step up. Excellent. Pet rock, says Pinnell. There you go. Easiest pet ever. It only got hungry once a year. Okay, so we got a couple minutes left. What are we going to talk about? Do we want to watch another news? Story about the same crazy candidate? Because I had another one lined up. Let's see here. What else do we have? Oh, I know what else we have. And I forgot to tell you this last time. You guys. Oh my God, you guys. I have hot water in my sink. My kitchen sink, after several years, lots of years. I have hot water. It flows hot. Hot water flows. I had to get a new hot water heater, which that was a nightmare story. We're not going to talk about that. But then after I got my new hot water heater, I got a new faucet, and my faucet looks like this. I got that faucet. That faucet, by the way, costs over $400 flippin' dollars. Are you kidding me, Delta? Delta wants $400 some odd dollars for that Bellini named faucet, but I did not pay $400. Are you kidding me, Delta? $400 for a faucet? I instead only paid $175 for it because I got a refurbished faucet from Delta. And so now I have hot and cold water. And that makes me happy because having no hot water in the kitchen is made washing dishes very difficult. And why are the handles different? Oh, because they're not. Here, I'll show you. Hold on. They're not. There's only one handle. I know what you're thinking, though. Okay, so the little lower handle, that's the soap dispenser. And then the handle is the handle. And then the sprayer is the sprayer. Which, that's sort of stupid. But yeah, there's only one handle, and the other one's the soap dispenser. And $400 is the Delta Economy Plus faucet. I know, right? Delta is stupid expensive, but I happened to find one that was on sale for super cheap, and so I grabbed that. And and yeah, running hot water is great. However, what isn't great is somehow that looks like a stock photo. Indeedly-do, Rick, it is a stock photo. Actually, it's not a stock photo. It is a photo that I took off of the, no, wait, it is well, it might have been the photo that I took off the picture on the box. And let's see here. 400 is the Delta Economy Plus faucet. Oh, is that an airline joke? Oops, I completely missed that. Yeah, Delta, I get it now. I'm smart. And there we go. So, oh no, I need new valves under your sink and washing machine to get insurance for your house. You failed inspection and you can't get insurance till you get it fixed, along with your roof. Yikes. And yes, so no dishes on the countertop anymore, thank good. Well, and yeah, exactly. Well, and that counter's way nicer than my counter. That kitchen's way nicer than my kitchen. But either way, I don't have any dishes on my countertop anymore because I can actually wash them now. But here's the deal, y'all. I ended up getting a new hot water heater. And I looked at the hardware stores and all the things for hot water heaters. And I saw that you could get them between like $600 and $800 for what I needed. And I was like, okay, so like, you know, I'm going to assume it'll be like $400, $500 to install one that I buy. And so I'm like thinking that it'll cost like $1,200, $1,500 to get a new hot water heater. How much do you all think it costs to get a new hot water heater? How much does it cost to get a hot water heater repaired or replaced in your neck of the woods? Just out of curiosity, what y'all think it costs to get a new hot water heater? No comment throws down 4K. Rick says $650 if you install. No, not install. Okay, Rick, different question. How much do you think it cost? If I bought my own hot water heater, how much do you think a plumbing place would charge to install it? Yeah. For those of you who don't want to make a guess, I'll just tell you right now, it was $3,300 to get the hot water heater and it installed. And if I wanted to buy my own hot water heater and have them install it, it would have been $2,000 more. So whatever I would have had to pay, like $1,200, $800 plus $2,000. That's what it. But I would have had to go get it. They wouldn't have taken the old one away. Blah blah blah. So yeah, $3,300. Now that's with all the taxes included. So neat. Yeah, $3,300. So I swallowed my tongue, and so I yeah, exactly, Darlene. Yeah. So I swallowed my tongue and just bit my tongue and bit my lip and just did it. So $3,300 later, I had a brand new hot water heater. Now, my old hot water heater was old. It was over 22 years old, and I had never flushed it. It was full of sediment. They emptied that sediment, of course, before they moved the old hot water heater. They had to empty it, and while emptying it, they had to empty it with the sediment. What did they do? I didn't think about this when they did it. It wasn't until later that I thought about this. But what did they do? They're plumbers, by the way, and I'm on septic. What did they do? They drained my hot water heater and all of its sediment through my shower drain. Not outside. They did it through my shower drain. Later on, I wondered if that was a bad idea. Then a few days later, my toilet stopped working. That's when I Googled whether or not that was a good idea. And Google AI said, oh, hell no. Or actually what I said was, if I drain a hot water heater full of sediment, will it be bad for my septic tank? To which it responded, oh, hell yeah, girl, it will be bad for your septic, and it will maybe even ruin your drain field. And I said, oh, well, that sucks. And so I called the plumbers to make my toilet work again. Because, by the way, I live in a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. And in my 1 bathroom, I only have 1 toilet. So when that doesn't work, so they came. Now, here's another little guesstimate. How much do you think it costs to make the toilet? I know it is just awful, but we're not going to talk about what was in the toilet. But how much do you think it costs to clear that toilet? Call the plumber. Hey, I need your toilet. You need your toilet auger. Come back. Come back, and you need to come back and fix my toilet. So, just out of curiosity, how much do you think it costs to clear a toilet? I'll wait. Oh, damn, no comment. Have you done this? No, $474. $474 to clear the toilet. Yeah, snake the drain only, $9.99 special day. Exactly. And, were there words given? Well, it's funny. Yeah, another maybe 600. Well, Darlene, it wasn't quite that bad. $474 and some odd cents was what it was. And I did mention, well, do you think blah, blah, blah? At which point he said, well, that could be an issue. But if it was the issue, it would show up like this, blah, blah, blah. And he said something, and I don't really remember. He's like, it wouldn't show up like this. And I was like, okay. So he cleared the toilet and then fiddled with some of the insides of the toilet. And the toilet ended up flushing a lot stronger. And it seemed like the toilet was in better shape after they worked on it. And everything was good for 2 days. And then the toilet stopped working again. Rick, no, this is the deal. Even though I was totally afraid of... So Rick asked, did the shower drain back up? Did they snake it? No, they didn't. And here's the deal. I don't think... I was freaking out over the sediment. But I don't actually think the sediment, although we will eventually see, but I don't think that was the problem, because my washing machine, my shower, my kitchen sink, and my bathroom sink were all draining fine. And all of them I would think, if the sediment was clogging things up, those would all have issues as well. So I don't actually think the sediment was an issue. I just brought it up because I've been paranoid that it might be the issue, and that it still might come up and bite me in the ass, for lack of a better term. Sorry, second time A word. So second time the toilet stops working, they come over and they tell me, and this might be true, they tell me the toilet itself is broken. Now, I've had that toilet since I bought the house. It's over 22 years old. It's had a couple internal repairs. The toilet might be broken. I don't really know. I don't know enough about how toilets work to know things. So, I had to get a new toilet. Y'all want to guess how much a new toilet costs? A new toilet costs $1,700 to get installed. However, because they like me, they did take the $475 off from the previous toilet repair, so it was only $1,300. So, $5,000 later, I have a brand new toilet, a brand new hot water heater, and I didn't expect to spend $5,000 on any of this. And so it's all on a credit card because I don't just have a $5,000 check that I can write out of my checking account. And yeah, so the toilet's not failing now. The toilet is working beautifully. Now, if the toilet stops working, I fully will be coming back with rage about the sediment, because then I will absolutely think that it is a sediment issue. But so far, it's been a week, and the toilet is continuing to work. But I'm not going to lie to you, dude. Every time I flush that thing, I hold my breath and just wait to see. I just wait to see. And Rick, all that new hot water melted all the grease in the pipes. No, I don't think so, because back when I didn't have the hot water in my kitchen sink, I was washing dishes with water that was boiled on the stove. And so I mean, hot water has been going down the pipes, just difficult to create hot water. And I do remember the money pit, Honda, and yeah, yeah, exactly. Pussycat, I would have said, "Buck you, you damn plumber, fix my damaged toilet." Yeah, and no comment. My toilet is a Toto. I've never heard of Toto toilets. My toilet is a Toto. A Toto. It's a they cost $12,000. Well, then I got a dang good deal, because I absolutely only paid $1,300 for it. Well, it would have been $17 had I not, but either way, what on earth does a $12,000 toilet do? A $12,000 toilet better scrub my bum, dry my bum, scrub my neighbor's bum. Wow, the Toto top of the line with bidet and cover sensor opener is $12K. Well, you know, I knew, and it cleans. They told me the Toto is supposed to clean itself. I don't believe that it cleans itself. But I do have, it is a Toto. It is supposed to clean itself. It's not heated seats. It's not no bidet. It doesn't have a opener cover thing. But for real, y'all, it is a very strange toilet. I will tell you that. It's, yeah, I got a copy Toto. No, it says Toto on the, I'll take a picture of it and show you on my toilet next time I see you. And Darlene, it's just too convenient that the toilet breaks at the same time they flush the water and sediment down the drain. And yeah, they should have credited you that $400 some odd. I know, Darlene, I totally do agree that it is very convenient. No comment. They're in every room and in the lobby of the Four Seasons on Lanai. Okay. And no, Shock, it does not play "I'll Stop the Rains Down in Africa." No, it doesn't play that. Yeah, exactly. It's still just a crapper. It is still just a crapper. So, on that note, you guys, toilet talk for the win at the end of the chattering scatter. The scattering chatter, whatever. But no splatter with the toilet, which is a good thing. It has remained in its bowl. It did not overflow. The old toilet overflowed, which was a problem. But the new toilet, the Toto, has not poured rains down on the plains of Africa or my bathroom floor. All right, then, you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. If what you're telling me is true, we will hang out in another hour and a half at Photo Luke. So, hopefully I'll see you at Photo Luke. If I don't see you at Photo Luke, maybe I'll see you on Saturday, Secret Squirrel Cinema. I don't remember what I had planned for Secret Squirrel Cinema, so I'm not going to tell you. And that has more to do with keeping this info from me than from you. And then Sunday, 5 p.m. West Coast time, another chatter show. But for real, if we want to watch a movie on Saturday, that's 6 p.m. on the Twitch Map Statter. That's P Map Statter. That's the Secret Squirrel Cinema spot on Saturday. All right, nighty night, y'all. Maybe I'll see you in a couple.